Alright, this is a next review of this project for the sunroom. Come in a little bit. I'm just showing this concrete patio is just something I put together. Has the same kind of square footage as what was showing with one of our last decks that we looked at the last project. So I just have concrete leading up to this door and with another step up to that door. So there's just two little steps down, about 6-inch steps down, 1, 2, and this is open for planting down here with the electric meter, the downspout, and the window well. That window well, if you wanted to fill this up with bedding material, that window well might have to be added to or lifted or something like that. But that's what I did for the concrete patio. That's between you and Rich. You got to come up with something that works for you. In terms of the windows, this worked out pretty decent, and this was we barely got everything in, but we ended up with all 4-foot sliders here, 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 and here, and these little arrows indicate which way I'm showing them going. You might want those changed. So that's one of the things that you have to specify, is which way you want those windows to slide. The way I have it set up now is these two in the corner slide this way and that way, and this one slides that way. The door slides up, and this last one down here, the window slides up this way. Part of the reason I did that, put this one and this one as the actual moving thing, was regardless of which way you hinge this door, some of it's going to be in front of this window or that window. So I've left these as the opening ones here. Whether you might want this one and this one instead of these two, that's something you have to decide. But we did end up, they only made 3-foot wide and 4-foot wide windows. So we just managed to meet the code through here. I'm probably, during construction drawings, this will probably widen just another couple inches just to make sure that we've got enough between these 4-foot windows here. And there's a transom over this. I was showing it 20 inches high, but I have reduced that now to where it's closer to 18 inches tall. I think it looks a little better. The tallest they made was 20, and I don't know if they put blinds between this transom. All the rest of these, presumably they do, or I'm almost positive they do. You will have to specify how deep you want this step, front to back. This one I'm just showing a good 14 inches because it's only 6 inches high. So you have in this room roughly 5'4" from this drywall to the edge of the door here, and just about a foot here. This is the 8-foot sliding door. I have it like this. For one thing, this is the minimum, but I have it like this so you have this symmetrical corners here. Whether if you may want to move that down some and just split these evenly and have that centered on the interior of this wall. This door is shown as a 2'8" wide. Both of these doors are 6'10", what they call 6'10" high. I think we should get the price from Anderson and then try to see if anyone else is building what we need. This door here, I show it this way, and the only reason I'm showing it swinging that way is I would think that most of the entry is from this way, but I might be wrong, which means if you put a hinged screen door on it, it's going to swing out like this. So that's something to think about in terms of the interior swing, is that you want the exterior swing to be the opposite of that, so that you don't have the Z door. But so you have roughly 5'4" here, 5'4" here. The interior dimensions then is 14.6 wide by 14.1 deep. This is going to increase to probably 14.8 wide. Problem is, that's that downspout there, and there's the flange for that. So if we want that extra 2 inches, and I don't think we can get it here, we're going to have to move that downspout out where it's on the edge of that window. More that way anyway, to pick up that extra 2 inches that is necessary here. I didn't think about lengthening it. We're meeting code here with, we had to do special stuff on all corners anyway, but we're meeting code here, and I did not see of real value in adding any more length this way to it. One of the things that was a little concerning to me is that I don't know if there's going to be room in this framing for even a single switch. And maybe they have something fancy these days that can do it. But the other alternative then to lengthening it by any length is to make this door down to a 30-inch door, which is still a pretty wide door. That's a bedroom door. If your bedroom doors are standard, that's a bedroom door. And that gives us a little bit more room between these casings for at least a single switch. Now I want to talk about this door very briefly. I did this during the making of the film and just a couple experiments with that. This arrangement centers it on the inside where you have 22 inches of drywall here and 22 inches of drywall here. Alternately, you have an equal amount on the outside, and these are imbalanced in here. But you'll see from the film, I think I preferred that having even margins on this side and this side, in spite of it not matching up at this end. And you may feel differently. You will see the film. That is where it all matches up here, and you have a nice nook here. So there's a lot being said for keeping it pushed up that way. But the film shows it that way, this way, and that way. And then these are the elevations. This plan uses about 97 square feet of brick, and I think that's about 680 or so, 680 brick. So maybe the rest of those have to be laid down underneath that patio because that's going to be pretty thick. But I mean, Rich will put gravel anyway. So that was this side, and this a little closer. And from this end, that is with that 20-inch window. And see, it looks like the ones out front are closer to 17 than 20 anyway. So I've made that a little shorter in these final views. And you can see your grade is this line here, and it follows pretty much this patio. It falls a little quicker. The patio that I'm showing, I sloped it simply from this wall out at 3/16 per foot straight west. And then this was a kind of a challenge here with these fighting with this, and this was the best I came up with at the end, where this is a lintel style trim and this is a piece of vinyl drip cap on top of that, and then that window comes down on top of that vinyl drip cap. That we need to have at least 5.5 of framing lumber at the top of these ones here going across here. So that's what that's showing, where that's up 5.5 inches from the other one, the bottom one. And I just increased this some so that there wasn't so much tension right here, because I couldn't bring that window down. So I think this was the best I could do with that particular thing. Yeah, see, I like it shorter, but you may not. You may want it. That was 20. This is 17 3/4. This is 15 1/2. I like this one. I thought this was closest to what you have, which is about 17 inches high. And from outside, it's like this. And here, you can see here I had used 3.5 inch high trim here, and then this window had its own casing up higher than that, and there's about 7 inches between them. And then this is where I get those integrated. That is with the shorter window from this side. That's the 17-inch window, 17 or 18-inch window. But now you can see that that lintel has come up higher. Whether this is filled with plantings or not, I guess you have to put fresh dirt in there if you do. And this is looking at this door, this 8-foot sliding door. And I'm pretty sure I remembered that you wanted it sliding this way, where this panel moves. But this is the one where this is even here. These are both 1'4" here, 1'4" here, and on the other side of that. So these look like big columns coming down. But this side is like almost 30 inches. So this is 30 and this is 16 or 17. And that moves it so that it is centered on the inside drywall wall. And this is where it makes the margins outside even. depending on what you're going to do in that corner, I almost think I prefer this. If you can use that extra space in that corner. I think that's the most balanced approach with this big window here. Anyway, that's my take on that. And then there's 2 or 3 different turnarounds to give you a better feel for it. And that is it, and I'm sure that we will talk soon. Thanks. This is with that 8-foot door pushed up west in an asymmetrical arrangement on that wall. This is still the one with the asymmetrical door on the north wall. This is with the door centered on that drywall. And finally, the one with even margins outside.